We will cap government spending and cut government waste to fix the budget so we can bring down inflation, interest rates, and income tax. That'll mean you'll bring home...
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for coming back to my channel. I don't usually do reaction on a political matter, but lately there was a politician visiting our company, and then he said something. So I'm just gonna react to his point or mandate. So this politician is called, his name is Pierre Poilievre, and then is a leader of Conservative, and most likely he's gonna be the Prime Minister next year. Let's gonna take a look what he's going to say in the video, okay?
We're going to bring home the country that we knew and still love. Our common sense plan will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. We will axe the carbon tax to lower the cost of the gas and, more importantly, the diesel that goes in these trucks. Everything that goes by truck or train, therefore, will be lower cost to deliver. We will cap government spending and cut government waste to fix the budget so we can bring down inflation, interest rates, and income tax. That'll mean you'll bring home more and your dollar will keep its value.
He's gonna axe the carbon tax. Yes, great, right? Lower the cost of gasoline and diesel. How are you going to lower the cost of diesel? And we don't. The first you have to understand why we have the high cost of diesel is because of the war. Okay, don't tell me something else like the production in Canada or the pipeline is jammed. Nothing. I can see the news since the war. The gas just go up and up and up. It's common sense, mister. The second thing is he's talking about cutting government spending. Good, I like that. Too much government spending is not a really good idea because eventually, it's gonna pay by taxpayer money, or you're just gonna print money, right? Print, and then it's gonna cause inflation. You're right. I agree with you.
We will cap government spending and cut government waste to fix the budget so we can bring down inflation, interest rates, and income tax. That'll mean you'll bring home more and your dollar will keep its value. We will build the homes. Here in the Lower Mainland, housing is probably more expensive than anywhere else in the world. Vancouver is the third most expensive housing market on earth when you would compare incomes to housing costs. Canada's housing affordability has worsened more in Canada than in any other G7 country over the last 8 years, and the second worst out of the entire 40-country OECD. This is not a global problem. This is a made-in-Canada problem, and it is the result of the fact that we have the fewest homes per capita of any country in the G7. Even though we have the most land to build on, we spend the most of our economy on housing construction, and we have by far the most mortgage debt as a share of GDP. So let's get this straight. We have the most land for home building. We borrow the most for home building. We spend the most of our economy on home building, all to have the fewest homes. Why? The answer is we have the worst bureaucracy. The bureaucracy adds costs through delays, taxes, charges, fees, consultants, lawyers. In fact, in Vancouver, the cost of dealing with the bureaucracy to get a permit works out to $1.3 million for every newly built home. The number one cost in building a home in Vancouver is not land, labor, or materials. It is getting a permit. That is insane. It is unacceptable. And I will not put up with it any longer. When I'm Prime Minister, I will require municipalities permit more homes, free up more land, and lower charges and fees and taxes to do it. They will be required to permit 15% more home building per year and have high-rise apartments around every future federally funded transit station as a condition of getting their federal money. I will sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build.
We'll local government to listen to you to build apartment around the federal fund train station in Vancouver or Lower Mainland. I don't think we have any plan to building any more new line or new transit hub around Lower Mainland. So I don't know where you're talking about. Like, are we building something into Langley to have a new transit station? I don't think so. I haven't heard of any. The second thing is, even though you build the transit station, the land around the transit station does not belong to the federal government. How are you going to ask the developer to build housing? I mean social housing, right? Not the $800,000 high-rise luxury apartment like Brentwood or Metrotown. There are so many, luxury high-rises apartment already. They cost $700,000 to $800,000 for 2-bedroom apartments. You tell me, is that actually your plan? And then, do you know when they built this apartment, they demolished a whole bunch of low-income social housing, low-rise apartment around the area, and those people got dispersed. So I don't know. This is your plan or just trying to get the number higher, but those numbers only the expensive people, the rich kids can afford to buy those apartments. My kids right now is 12, 14 years old. By the time they grow up to 18, I don't think they have enough money to buy the $800,000 apartment for their wife or for their children. I don't know what kind of plan you're thinking about.
Federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build. We'll back the trades. We'll back the trades with more and better Red Seal materials that our teenagers can start with when they're in their grade school programs, like you're welcoming many of those kids. He says, Sid was saying that some of the schools have good material, some have bad. The National Red Seal Council should provide top-notch material for every licensed trade so that our teenagers can get started earlier. We should give tax fairness. The Tax Fairness for Traveling Trades Workers Act that I will pass will allow you to write off the full cost of your food, transportation, and accommodation to get from one project to another. And we'll make sure that polytechnics, colleges, and trade schools get the same federal support as universities. And the tradespeople will build the homes. We need boots and not suits in our economy. Boots and not suits.
So back to your housing number. You're saying that, for the last 8 years, the housing is just skyrocketed, right? But you know what? I've been here since 1990s. So I actually saw what happened to the housing. I have a little number from the internet. In 2006, the average house, detached house price was $488,000. In 2015, the detached house was $760,000. It's around 33 or 34% increased. Between 2006 and 2015, who was the party in power? Huh? Okay. Now we're going back to 2023, last year. The price for the detached house average, it was 34.93%. So you're saying that the last 8 years, a liberal government make the housing price go skyrocketed. Yeah, but so did you guys between 2006 and 2015. Who was the housing minister at that time? You tell me. Okay, so I just want to prove the point that Housing has been going up for since 1990 or even since 1980s. I remember a few years ago I saw a video clip from CBC or CTV.
We can't even get in to play the game, let alone wish for that sort of a thing. So
the sort of thing Darlene Bly is wishing for is a home for herself and her husband. Jim and Darlene are in their early 30s and have been married 7 years. They've been looking for a house since September. They've got a $10,000 down payment and a pre-approved mortgage for $120,000. But every time they've found a house, they've lost out to someone else. This is one house Darlene and Jim bid on. The asking price was $115,000. They offered $106,000. They lost to a higher bidder, and they know they're not alone. Many young couples can't compete.
I've heard that a lot of places are being snapped up, sight unseen, and paid cash for out of the country. And how do you compete with that?
Prices are being pumped up because of an increased demand. Foreign buyers and an estimated 30,000 people have come here from other provinces. Take a look at what's happened to prices in the past 5 years. In the West Side, the median price has doubled. And even in the East Side, prices have gone up 50%. The solution for many first-time buyers is to move outside Vancouver. Realtor Brian Calder says the market moves in cycles, but there's always been a group that had to limit its expectations.
Say the bottom 25% that wished to afford housing that couldn't pay the prices in the East End 10 years ago, and they moved out further. And the same thing is happening.
According to Brian Calder and other real estate agents I spoke with, what's happening should come as no surprise. We've sold ourselves very effectively. A lot of people have moved to Vancouver from other parts of Canada, and an awful lot of property has been bought by offshore investors. So what we're seeing now is the price of success. Layla Paul, CBC News, Vancouver.
So housing has been going up steadily. So no, regardless of parties. So there's something else driven. The housing market going up. I don't think it is because of party. Obviously, you know, between 2006 and 2015, the housing price was going up too. So use the other point, maybe, you know, if young people might actually believe that, okay, but the people who are older, over 40 years old, have seen, you know, the price before, or even no. The 80 years old guy is gonna tell that when I was teenager, the housing price was only like, you know, $5,000. Okay, so it has been going up, you know, continuously. So I don't think party has anything to do with that. Yeah, every single party has their responsibility to, or actually, it's not your job. I guess this is a capitalistic country, right? Capitalism. It's not your job to stop the housing, cap that would be called socialism, right? So thank you for watching my reaction. I don't know, for sure I'm not gonna vote for Liberal. I've never voted for the Liberal. So but I haven't decided if I want to vote to conservative again. My riding, conservative never win. Always the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, even though he doesn't live here. I don't know why, you know. He represents my riding if he doesn't really live here. I've never seen him riding a bike, you know, along the Rumble Street, you know. And run into him, no. I only saw the video, you know. He always riding by in Montreal or Toronto. I don't know. He's more Toronto people, you know, than the people in South Burnaby. It's so sad, you know. It's so unfair that, you know, a guy who represents my riding, he doesn't even show up here often enough. I've been living here for 20 years in South Burn. I've never seen him, you know, do anything. Whatever. Sad. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Nice day.